In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 common myths about love that will actually lead you away from the loving relationship you really want, and we're instead going to correct them so you can move closer to the fulfilling relationship you deserve. Hit the subscribe button with the little bell, and don't forget to check out my new book, Make Him Yours, Beating the Odds of Modern Dating, which is now available from the description. First chapter is there as well. Hit that subscribe button and I'll see you right after this. Warning, you're probably going to hate me for some of what's in this video, but it's empowering and important, so we're going on. Number 1 myth about love we need to bust. Love at first sight. So, love at first sight is a combination of chemicals in your brain and your sense of smell. Love at first sight, that real chemistry is about you noting genetic strengths where you have weaknesses, and him doing the same for you. Now, this isn't to say I've never heard of a couple. Of course, we've all heard of couples who knew at first sight and they tell the story and they're still together happy after 10, 20 years. It does happen. But what you have to remember is that love is a combination of relationship skills. It's a combination of the effort he puts into you. It's a combination of all the things that grow into growing together and building an empowering relationship. And you can absolutely have chemistry with people who don't do that. The danger of love at first sight is that you go, hey, it's meant to be, and then you continue to invest in someone who isn't investing in you and doesn't deserve you. You may hear about the couples who fell in love and 10 years later they're still together from love at first sight, but you don't hear the millions of stories from couples who thought they had love at first sight. They were absolutely sure, and then it turned out he was a narcissist, or it turned out he didn't put any effort in, or had no relationship skills. Love at first sight is a beautiful thing, but it won't make a relationship on its own. You need all the other stuff on top of it to make sure that you can form an empowering bond with the right man. So don't get hooked on love at first sight. Look at the long-term relationship picture when you're choosing a man for love. Myth number 2, infatuation equals love / love completes me. I've put these two together because they go hand in hand and they are incredibly important and potentially incredibly toxic if you buy into these love myths. So infatuation is the obsession with the feeling someone gives you. We get infatuated with a person because we want that feeling over and over again. The problem with infatuation is it's our brain identifying that that person is the source. The only way to feel that way is if I'm with him, if I'm with her. And this is why infatuation can be so toxic, because your brain starts to convince itself it needs this person for that feeling. It's literally dependent on that person to feel that feeling, right? If you're waiting for someone to come along, this goes into the love completes me myth. If you're waiting for someone to come along and fill up those things in your neurology, then you're waiting for someone to be in a codependent relationship with, right? Love is about growing together. It's about learning you can feel those feelings on your own. And even if you do find yourself infatuated, which we all do at times, understanding that that feeling comes from you. It's not about the person. The person might have triggered it, but it's coming from you. You are not dependent on that person for that feeling. The love completes me infatuation myth can send you down the road of toxic codependency if you buy into it. So always remember, infatuation is not healthy, and love is not built around completing you or infatuation. It's built around 2 healthy, fulfilled individuals, complete individuals, growing together. Number 3, true love can overcome anything. Much like the love at first sight myth, the problem with love can overcome everything is that you end up staying in relationships where you shouldn't. I have far too many clients who come to me, and women in general who leave comments who say, I love this guy at the start and I know we can overcome this, when the guy's being abusive, when the guy's manipulating her, when the guy's narcissistic. Or it doesn't have to be anything that bad. It could be one wants kids and one doesn't. You guys want to live in different areas. You just have very different personal values. They're just incompatible personal values on things like religion or politics, and you guys are strong at either end and they don't match. True love cannot overcome everything, and trying to force it to do so will actually see you in toxic relationships that harbor resentment and lower both of your self-esteem. Myth number 4, love is effortless. This myth comes from the idea that when we're in love, we just won't, all we want to do is serve our beloved. All we want to do is work for him or her, and it will never require any effort or input from us. And it simply isn't true. I mean, think about it. With your health, would you say being healthy is effortless? Of course not. You go to the gym, or you go to yoga, or you put in effort. Would you say doing well at work is effortless? Nope. You get up in the morning, you go to work, you invest time, effort, money, hundreds of hours a month into work. So saying love is effortless is, when you think about it, a bit silly. It can feel effortless for the first couple of years, especially when the dopamine is driving your actions and when you're feeling great. But thinking that love will always be effort-free is a misnomer. Remember, love does require effort from both of you. Building a healthy relationship in the end is going to be something that you both put effort into and reap the rewards. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget today's content is based off of chapter number 5 in my new book, Make Him Yours, Beating the Odds of Modern Dating. Myth number 5, there is only one perfect soulmate out there. This myth has 2 problems. The first is that what if you and your soulmate never come in contact, you simply live in Samoa and he doesn't, or vice versa. But more importantly, number 2 is it shuts down the value of short-term relationships. You know, some of us are very lucky. We meet one person and we grow and change with that person right throughout our lives for 60, 70 years even, and that growth continues and we grow together in healthy ways that can empower us. But for most of us, our first relationship is not our one relationship. That doesn't mean it has no value. Well, we can look back on that relationship, we can take the learnings, and we can appreciate what that person brought to our lives. In fact, I am personally incredibly thankful and grateful for my own ex that I talked about in the How to Let Go of Love video, because of all that she taught me. And now almost 5 years on from that, I can see the way that she's affected every part of my life in a positive way, even right through to my current love life. So it's important to remember that the perfect soulmate idea, it pushes down the importance of these relationships along the way. I can't necessarily guarantee that the next person you meet is going to be your perfect soulmate. But what I can guarantee is if you choose well, if you take the skills from this channel, if you make sure you pick guys that put effort into you, that raise your self-esteem, I can guarantee you're going to experience growth and happiness in that relationship. And that if both of you grow in the same directions and have compatible values and relationship skills, it could be your longest, i.e. one, relationship. But if it's not, if it turns out you guys do grow in different directions as you go on, it doesn't mean that next great guy won't be a great growth experience for you that leads you to your one. Instead of focusing on finding the one perfect soulmate, focus on finding your next imperfect growth partner. The man you can have a relationship with, a long-term one, if those are your values and his match it, but one where you can appreciate the fact that no one's perfect and the two of you grow together to become better humans. Number 6. Love means never being attracted to another. It simply isn't true. It's gonna happen over time, especially after the honeymoon period. You are going to find attraction, he's going to find attraction for others. And one of the reasons infidelity rates are so high, over 70%, is that we shame this. So it's not about shaming it, it's not about pushing it down, it's not about not feeling it at all. It's about what you do with it. How will you communicate this as a couple? This can either be something you push down, which causes a problem in the relationship, or it can be something that you uncover and communicate on, which actually leads to you being in a stronger relationship. And number 7, jealousy equals love. I'm sure you can appreciate that if you believe jealousy equals love, then you believe that the more jealous you are, the more you're in love. Now, jealousy is a normal emotion. Jealousy is 100% normal to feel. It's not jealousy, it's what you do with it that's the problem. Many people use jealousy as an excuse to control their partner, as an excuse to act out, as an excuse to jump over someone's boundaries, and none of that is okay. Jealousy is a normal feeling, but caring for your partner, loving your partner means appreciating their freedom and respecting their boundaries. That means that jealousy is something that you deal with, something you communicate, but something you don't use to inhibit or control your partner. Don't fall into the toxic myth that jealousy equals love, because you'll end up in relationships with guys that are incredibly jealous, and while it might feel very loving, you're actually walking into codependence and a total collapse of boundary function. So make sure you don't shame jealousy, but you understand it's what someone does with it that's most important. And that's the video. Don't forget this content was taken from chapter 5, Make Him Yours, Beating the Odds of Modern Dating, is now out there, and if you want to grab a copy, you can do it. Link in description. If you're not so sure, you can just download the first chapter for free and see what you think of it. Hit the subscribe button with the little bell so you get the notifications, and let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the myths? Have you had a myth that's got to you? Do you disagree with some of the myths? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button with the bell, give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.